stupid.
Absolutely. That shit crazy.
Oh, sorry. It's just alerting me that something's wrong with our Twitch. I'm sorry if you're watching this on Twitch. I don't know what the problem is. Hello and good evening and welcome.
Hello.
Drop the Mic podcast. I am Josh. This is my partner,
Punisher, the one and only. Hi guys, thank you for coming. Tyler got it first. Let's look at the comments. Got it. Yeah. Followed by close.
You beat her. It's always good to beat the wife. It's always good. Not like that. Miss Laird. Our greatest fan. Pun, how are you doing tonight?
I am hot, sweaty, and have a serious case of swamp ass. How are you? I wish I was kidding. I'm not.
The funny thing is she's not joking. It is they're experiencing a heat wave in West Virginia. It's like 96 degrees, and Pun's AC is out.
Our AC is out. Yeah. Like, I'm expecting all of my makeup, even though it's waterproof, to come sliding down my face. So if I look like I've been rained on, it's not rain, it's just sweat. It's gross, but yeah.
Well,
how are
good
you?
Evening, guys. I'm doing pretty good. So, if you can't tell it by the bags under my eyes, school started this week, and I'm a kindergarten teacher. And
how many kids do you have in your room?
14, but I've only had 13. I've got one that's on vacation. But then at the end of the day, all the after school kids come in my room, so I go from 13 to 24.
God love you. Wow. That's awesome. That's amazing.
Linda joined it. I see.
We'd be sweaty. Yeah. Well, see, and she's got it. I gotta say, she's got it way worse than me because, like, her and Dad's room is on the upper floor. Mine's on the middle floor. So I'm, like, caught in the middle, and they're, like, really hot there. That's not too many kids. That's just enough. That's what Kirsty said. She says, that's too many kids. I said, nah.
Well, okay, so to make y'all feel better, our ratio is 1 to 18 or 1 to 14. So I'm right at my limit. But it's not too bad. I like my kiddos. They're pretty awesome. Why is that not going down? Banners are not cooperating with me, damn it. Their kids are pretty awesome, and I've got to show them some music here and there, which always makes me happy. So it works. But I'm happy to be here because it is time to talk about one of the greatest things on this planet, the only thing that won't ever fail you, make you feel bad, fuck you, all those things. We're here to talk about music. And to start it off, sorry, Seven. Have it. Sorry, Seven. Got Seven in the background producing, and I am so used to not having someone in the background producing. So it is time. Now, we do our Artist of the Week a little differently here on Drop the Mic. We are going to give you an artist that we think you probably haven't heard of and tell you to go check them out. Because me and Pun are real big on just, God, all music. And personally, I hate radio. I hate the radio. I really do. I had to listen to it last week, and it's just the same shit every 2 hours. And I'm like, show me something new. So
that's what I go between radio and then just putting on some kind of random playlist somewhere on either YouTube or Apple Music or something. Just pick a genre and go. And
I don't know what I would do without my Spotify. If there's a company out there that I would love to sponsor this show, it would be Spotify. Because I'm telling you, for a music fiend like myself, Spotify is the greatest gift ever. There's very few artists and things that you can't find on Spotify. And I do the same thing. I'll go find a random playlist, or I'll find an artist that I'm listening to, and I'll just say song radio, and off into a wormhole I go.
The greatest wormhole of all time. The music wormhole.
So I got mine. You got yours, Pun?
I sure do.
God, there's so many I want to talk about this week. Damn it.
Okay, we've got plenty of shows. You can talk about them all.
I think I've got to list this one because I've been listening to it a lot on replay. It's The Bottom Line by Justin Clancy. I was playing. This is the second one I played for you, Pun. I played for this. First Gen Dads.
Choose?
Yes. I can. I've lived without internet. I could do that, but that's because my phone still plays my Spotify. So yes, God, he made me forget what I was saying. The Bottom Line, Justin Clancy. Yes. I've been listening to that for the last week and a half. And it's very boppy. It's got almost like a pop, electro, hip hop kind of beat to it. It's very poppy. I have a thing for singer-songwriters. I always have. I love a good voice. I love someone who is talented enough to make you feel something with their voice without a lot of extra. And I feel like
skills going.
Yes, and I feel like Justin is one of those guys. I haven't dived into more of his stuff, but I will be. And so that is my artist of the week. Go check out Justin Clancy.
Awesome. I wrote it down. I think, yes.
If there's nothing else, I know that one person is checking these out.
So my artist of the week is Tyler Childers. When you brought up Sturgill Simpson, actually, I was thinking that made me think of Tyler Childers because he is more country, but in a way kind of not. It's kind of a grungy alternative country, and I like it because his lyrics are they're very powerful. I feel, I don't know if this is maybe the greatest comparison, but I feel like he's kind of the grungy country that Alanis Morissette is to, he's a good wordsmith. And if there are two songs that I would have anybody listen to by him, it would be Nose on the Grindstone and Feathered Indians.
No, he is. I just want to say he's legit. No.
I like him.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. I would say right there with Sturgill. If there's anybody who's bringing country to a new generation and bringing that country feel to a new generation, it's Sturgill and Tyler. My brother listens to both of them. And this is a man.
Stapleton. And Chris Stapleton.
I mean,
yes.
Chris,
oh my God, yes.
Chris is country. I wouldn't consider Tyler Childers and God,
they're not in the same league.
Yeah,
but
I wouldn't consider them straight up country. But Stapleton, he is straight up country, and in the fact he's old school straight up country.
He is. The other one that I would say is still close to old school and country is Eric Church. He does not get enough credit for the fact that he tells a story when he sings.
I actually seen him in concert, and he puts on a great show. A great show.
He's actually one of my more favorite. If I'm going to listen to country, I will pick Eric Church. He's one of my tops.
Same. Okay.
What does Tyler say? I don't like country's take on pop, so maybe it's taking on a grungy alternative will be better. I say yes. To me, and Tyler, we talked about this last week. If you go and you look at some of Sturgill's stuff, he's really into anime. His videos are super, super well drawn, tell stories, and he has 10-minute videos out there to go with his songs. I think we talked about that one last week.
Apocalyptica. I don't remember if we. Yeah, maybe. They might have. I'm not sure. They are. That's also a good band, though. Good group. You need to go check them out. They're awesome. Awesome sauce. Their version of one by Metallica is absolutely killer. How do you make that much noise on a cello? It sounds good.
All right, hang on. Oh,
really quick. Chris Stapleton recently did a cover of Nothing Else Matters.
Oh, I heard it.
It is absolutely fantastic.
Oh my God.
I didn't.
It is
so you brought that up. You brought that up. I meant to bring it up because I didn't know that someone could make me feel more with that song than Metallica did. And Chris,
it is
like
absolutely.
Like literally after I listened to it, I was literally shaking because Chris already, like you go look at Traveler, you go look at all of the songs he's done. He just has a way of taking your soul and being like, feel this, feel it all. And with that man song,
can talk a straight man into being gay when he's singing. He's so fucking good
yes.
at what he does. Like, if you want to see the best take on Chris Stapleton, go to Josh Prey, comedian Josh Prey, his Facebook page. Go look at his video talking about Chris Stapleton the first time he heard Broken Halo and his cover of Tennessee Whiskey. Like, it's the most accurate description. It's amazing. And Josh Prey is just fantastic.
If you don't know of the comedian he's talking about, Josh Prey, go look him up on Facebook because he's amazing. He's hilarious. His 5 reasons that you don't mess with Texas.
I'm checking this out.
Oh, he's great. He is great.
And he knows that Whataburger is superior, and that's what matters.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Even though they're not as superior as they used to be. But we're not going to get into that discussion here.
True fucking story.
But yes, go check out Chris Stapleton, Sturgill Simpson. Like, if you want to give country a chance, those are the 3 guys you need to give a chance.
For real.
All right. You know what? It's a little early, but we're going to go ahead and take our first commercial break. And then we're going to come back with new releases and news. All right. All right, guys, that was the Geek Gauntlet podcast. You can catch that Saturdays with Will Shaw, 9 Central, 10 Eastern, on Will Morgan's Twitch exclusive. It is then debuted here every Tuesday morning, re-aired, so you can catch that Tuesday mornings on all Pinfall streams. And then Pinfall Podcast, Sundays, me, Will, talk all things wrestling. Actually, huge news. We're going to be adding a 3rd person to that. If you watch the Sports Report, you already know Mr. Tony C is going to be joining us on the show whenever he can. But I'm super excited for that. He's another highly, highly intelligent wrestling mind. We're going to have a lot of good conversations. If you didn't catch past last week's episode, go back and watch that because we talked all the action. CM Punk returning, SummerSlam, Becky Lynch, Brock Lesnar. Go check that out. And then Rays. We have a sponsor. Rays Energy Drinks and Rep Sports is the first official sponsor of Pinfall Streams. If you use the code GGN10 At checkout, you save 15% on your entire purchase. Go support them to support us.
Please, it's so exciting. We have a sponsor.
I know.
So
I was
exciting.
more excited to the fact to make the post saying we had our first sponsor than of who the sponsor was.
You know, it's like, oh, we have a sponsor.
So, all right, it's time. It is time. So as much as I like the new way the StreamYard sets things up, when they move, it screws me up. All right. So actually this week, so I'm having a harder time finding new releases than I thought I would. So I'm just going to go off what I said, Spotify, release radar.
Go for it.
This week, Marshmello, James Bay. Oh, I'm going to have to go listen to this. Chasing Stars, Aliso, Marshmello, and James Bay. I don't know who Aliso is, but Marshmello, James Bay is exactly what I was been saying. I like. He is like the epitome of singer-songwriter. I would almost classify him in that emo subset because he's very emotional, my brother says I only listen to sad music, and that's who he's talking about when he says that. So, but the two, James Bay has done a few of covers for electronic music. Marshmello, as far as I know, can't do no wrong. Like,
oh no, Marshmello's good.
I mean, I'm telling you, Pun, I don't know about you, but the hardest thing about COVID to me is I am dying not just to go to a show. I want to go to an EDM show. I miss, because if you're not an EDM fan, whatever, go fuck yourself. But their concerts in themselves are rejuvenating and healing. But an EDM concert is just, one, you really don't meet mean people in an EDM concert. You meet some of the nicest people in the world in an EDM concert because of Plur. And there's no place to go and be 100% yourself and feel accepted than an EDM show.
That's awesome. Listen, one of these days, post COVID, I'm going to go out and explore the world, and I'm going to be doing these things. So concerts are 100% like top of the list.
So Pentatonics have a new song. Oh, our producer just popped back in. He's pulling a me tonight. Have you noticed? Popping in and out. He's pulling a me.
Oh yeah, I've noticed since the first. It's the face. What's with the face?
How is she doing?
Why did I just lose volume?
I don't know.
You just go quiet on me?
Nope, sorry. Okay, that's my fault. I just wanted to glare at Josh. Klein, you're doing great. No, I was actually to say concerts. I went to my first post-COVID concert. It was Rise Against, The Descendants, and
actually, I was meaning to talk to you about this. How was Rise Against live?
Oh my god! Like that was. I've wanted to see them live for a long time, and that was absolutely fantastic. And
I'm so jealous.
I'm jealous.
The Descendants. Actually, my mom turned me on to them when I was a kid. They were one of the first punk bands I ever listened to. I found out. I was talking to somebody at the concert. The Descendants have actually been going since 1977. One of the oldest punk bands, and those guys were shredding. It was ridiculous. And Menzinger's a band that was on there first. It was kind of like if punk had started when we were young during the first emo craze. That's what it would sound like, and that's what the Menzingers was. They were really good. Like they started 2007. Definitely check them out. But Rise Against for my first show post the initial burst of the pandemic and losing everything. They were so good. It was so simple. There wasn't too many lights. It wasn't a whole lot of BS. The sound was amazing, and I'm kind of picky about that because that was kind of what I did.
You're a sound engineer. It drives me crazy. It drives me I have been to a point at shows where I will look at the sound engineer and be like, "Do I need to come back there? Because this is shit."
I was at a show with the guy that I apprenticed under to learn audio, and we were at a show, and like it started to go south, and he physically had to remove me from the venue because I almost just pushed the guy over to fix it. Because it's literally like there's the halftime and stuff that it's just like you turn one knob or scope out one frequency, it takes you 10 fucking seconds. Go do your damn job. Like, don't look at your phone. Just go. It's not hard. But the guy that I learned how to make sound from was the touring engineer for Duran Duran and 38 Special when in their primes. So he's very picky and old school, and I can pick frequencies out with my ears. So that's just my thing. But yeah, no, like it was great. It was the venue handled everything well. Arizona Federal Theater used to be called the Dodge Theater, where they did where they recorded the first Blue Collar Comedy Tour. Great venue to watch a show at if you're ever down in this area. Like it's amazing. But great sound, and Rise Against was, oh my God, so good.
That's awesome.
Oh, the one thing I have to appreciate during I Don't Want to Be Here Anymore. This is the one thing, it was my favorite moment in the whole show. Like they go to the breakdown and they go into the chord progression for the bridge, but they stop and they talk to the fans, and he says, man, sometimes that phrase, I don't want to be here anymore, it's not just a place, it's a state of mind. Scream it out, leave it on the floor so that when you leave, you can feel better and try to keep going. Like just a mental health check right there. That just my favorite moment of the show, outside of they did Savior as the last song of the encore.
Oh,
and of course that was just amazing.
Is there another song they could have ended with though? Like really?
There was no. I was to say there is not a logical end to their set to them, except for that song. Like,
okay, I do have to bring this up because if you've been watching this, last week me and Will were filming for Real Reality Fantasy Football. The first day there, I was wearing my Powerline shirt because he's the man. He's the fucking man. And I agree. Powerline the movie. I also want the subsequent album and tour. Let's go. Get it done. Tev Campbell. Do it. So back to new releases after we got off on that tangent.
Hey, tangents are great. Let's keep going.
I actually was looking at this list while he was talking about that, and there's some really good new music coming out. So Michael Tenpenny is another guy. He's not as popular as Sturgill or Chris Stapleton, but he's another one of those guys. Mitchell, sorry, I can't read. I'm dyslexic. Give me a break.
Disappointed.
Mitchell Tenpenny. I do that all the time with this man too, because I'm dyslexic. Mitch Tenpenny, he's another one of those guys. If you're trying to rediscover a new type of country, very, very, very good. I've been listening to him for about a year. He's amazing. He doesn't usually put up a bad song. Shawn Mendes has new music out. Ed Sheeran, Big Red Machine, and Taylor Swift, which is a weird combo. But here's the big one. Rob Thomas and Santana have another song together. Jaw drop. with get this, with American Author. Boom.
Get out.
Yep.
Shut the front door.
And it's called Move. It's called Move. So I will be going and listening to that as soon as this show is over. I'm betting 7 is pulling it up right now.
I'm writing it down as fast as I can so I do not forget.
If you don't know why we're freaking out on that, because one of the greatest songs of our generations growing up was a Santana and Rob Thomas came together. Some random mix came together and gave us one of the greatest songs of our generation in Smooth. And I still will rock that song. It's got some Santana, one of the greatest guitarists ever. And Rob Thomas, I think, as far as him and Matchbox 20, they don't get the recognition they deserve. Like, they were right there in that 90s music threshold. And
I love Matchbox 20. I've got several. Like, I always liked Matchbox 20, but they hardly ever, like you said, like, you hardly ever see their name anymore. It's usually mentioned in passing, and it's like, really?
You hear more about Rob than you do about the band itself. It's almost like Dave Matthews Band and hearing more about Dave Matthews than the actual band.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which Dave Matthews isn't that good, in my opinion, personally.
It's okay. Yeah, okay. They got a few. They got some good ones.
What else you got here? Alicia Cara has a new song out. Keith Urban. Oh, this is the one I wanted to bring up. We were talking about him. Sturgill and Willie Nelson have a song out together called Juanita. There's that
nice.
So I will be going to listen to that.
Which one of us did it this time?
I think it was simultaneous.
Oh.
Third Eye Blind has another new album, a new song out. Who else? Lady A, Jelly Roll, and Machine. Oh, Tech Nine, my boy. And Machine Gun Paper Cuts released this week.
I think the video for that song that Tech Nine's coming out with was actually shot where I went to this city I lived in when I lived in Missouri in St. Joe. He was up there shooting a couple weeks ago.
I've been through a lot. Yeah, I'll probably.
Yeah, it's a disgusting town. I don't know why he went there. It's horribleness.
The man will show love to any and all things Kansas City. You know that.
He went there to make it
Red Kingdom.
The best football hype song ever.
Dude, that is the song I wanted the Houston Texans to have for years. And instead we got Houston, Texas, home of the Texans.
How original.
Yeah. So I agree. There's never. I mean, and before that, it probably would have went Wiz Khalifa, Black and Yellow. But yeah, if anything, Tech leaves behind, which the man is so underrated for everything he has done for hip hop. If there's no Tech Nine, if there is no Tech Nine, there's no Dre, there's no Eminem, there's no 75% of the guys you listen to would not be around if it weren't for that man. And to have done it all of it independently. So
props.
There's your new releases for the week. Kind of scattered, but you got them.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And since I took so long with that, we should take another break and then we'll come back for news. I looked out in my window down below. The pun is literally.
I'm sitting here going like this. It's so fucking hot in here.
So, those commercials there, that is a really good podcast. You can catch that every week at this time on Tuesdays, 9 Central, 10 p.m. Eastern, every bi-weekly. If it's not this, it's that.
It's next.
So, always this face, that face changes. Except for last week when they were both here.
We can just bring Kirsty in real quick and be like, psych.
And then That second show is First Generation Dads. That is Will Morgan every Thursday, 9 Central, 10 Eastern, talking all things dads, dad culture, mental health, how to make our kids better people, and don't forget the dad jokes.
Yeah.
Gotta love the dad jokes. They're killing it over there with those dad jokes.
I know, you guys crack me up.
So make sure you check that out. And then once again, Ray's Energy Drink. Go check out their new limited edition strawberry lemonade, only available on repsports.com. 15% off your entire order if you use the code GGN10 at checkout. Make sure you go support them to support us. All right. It's time for news. And I told you I would, but I still don't have a segment flip for you. I started a new job. Give me a break.
No, you're fine. No judgment. Oh my God. It'll get done when it gets done. It's all good. Okay. Well, I do have a little bit of news. Right off the bat, this is kind of a sad one, but we lost Charlie Watts, the drummer for the band The Rolling Stones, died today at 80 years old. He went peacefully in the hospital he was in with his family by his side, but he will be missed. Very much.
That was a big one I was going to mention.
I stole it. Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I mean, what can you say? Rolling Stones literally changed the face of music. There wouldn't have been rock and roll. Everybody wants to give it to the Beatles and all that, but the Rolling Stones were in on that too. Rock and roll wouldn't have been what it had been in America if it weren't for the Rolling Stones continuing what the Beatles started. So, next big news in music. R. Kelly's trial began today.
Oh my.
Yeah. I was actually, we're literally making 7 choke on that one. I was actually reading this article today because there's been a lot of comments on this and how, this is the second time. It's going to be the same as the first time. What people need to remember, it's been 10 years since he was last tried. Our culture with rape and sexual assault has changed so much in that last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way this man gets off. If he thinks he's going to, he is crazier than I thought he was. Because there is, unless like some huge, I don't know, happens, like there's no way this man gets off. There's no way. There's way too much evidence against him. His actions since have not helped him at all. I'm sorry, the crying on camera with Barbara Walters made it worse to me. Oh. You know.
Excuse me while I go laugh hysterically. I'll be right back. Oh,
that's
shoot.
Good, Tyler. That's how it's supposed to be. Now go buy some.
Oh, shoot. All right. Let's see. The next one that I got here. So Slipknot and Stone Sour's Corey Taylor has unfortunately contracted COVID-19 and had to cancel his show at Astronomicon this past weekend. Though he's fully vaccinated, the singer tested positive Friday, August 20th and stated he was feeling, quote, very, very sick, end quote. But good news is, as of yesterday, he's doing much better and is recovering quickly. Being one of the first tours to hit the road after lockdown, he's been following COVID guidelines, and in the face of this highly contagious Delta variant, he is encouraging people to do their research and educate themselves on these vaccines. Yay, Corey. Some of what he had to say about his experience was, and I quote, this is the worst I have ever been sick in my life. Had I not been vaccinated, I shudder to think how bad it would have been. If you are still on the fence, I'm telling you right now, it's the best thing you can do for yourself, end quote. I'm glad he's backing getting vaccines.
I mean, Corey Taylor's a smart man.
You know, I was happy to see that when there's so much flack about these vaccines. It's nice when somebody's on board with it and encourages, hey, we need to go and get the vaccines, which I know some.
What do you got, Seven? What do you got?
I was just say, so the Rise Against concert, you had to have proof of a negative test or your vaccine card to get in. the line for those of us that were going through with a vaccine card was non-existent. They had to wait to open the smoking area because they were still trying to get through all the people that had the negative COVID tests.
Jesus Christ, man.
So all of those people were standing around, congregated, not social distancing. Just get it. Just get it done. Seriously, just get it done.
Well, okay. This isn't that show, but I was in Louisiana last week, and we had the TV on at one point. You know, Louisiana is only 33% vaccinated.
Jesus.
33%.
Wow.
That's why Louisiana, Alabama, and Florida are having their literal worst COVID in the year and a half. They're having their worst peaks right now. But, again, not the show. Next point in music news I wanted to talk about. This was covered on First Gen Dads because Seven has been following this very closely on the show. But I wanted to bring it up. Jamie Spears filed to be relieved from the conservatorship a couple of weeks ago. Now, don't everybody celebrate because it's not over yet. He did not set a time frame on when he's actually going to remove himself. He just signed the paperwork. He could draw this out for another 2, 4, 5 years if he wanted to. He says he doesn't want to cause bad publicity for Britney anymore. But in my opinion, if that's the case, then he would have just dropped it. But this whole situation, we've discussed this in over detail on First Gen Dads because we're all dads, and we think the way that this dad is treating his daughter is unbelievably fucked up.
It's fucking disgusting.
Well, the thing is the man started off with a good reason, and then he got power hungry and money hungry and just won't give it up.
No.
I want your opinion on this
next to R. Kelly. You're in for a bad experience, Jamie Spears. You're in for a bad experience. I know I'm going to hell, by the way, in case anybody's wondering. Like I accepted that a long time ago. It's okay.
We'll see you there. We're good.
We were just talking about vaccines. This was the next bit of news I had. One of the biggest live music companies in the country will require full vaccines to attend shows. AEG presents. They're behind Webster Hall, the Roxy, Coachella, and many other things. Starting October 1st, they require full vaccinations to attend their shows.
Rock on. Hell yeah.
Make it safe for the rest of us to listen to music, damn it.
Fucking right.
Bonnaroo will require a vaccination or a negative test. Well, I mean, we didn't even get to talk about it because we weren't doing the show yet. But did you see the pictures for Lala? Did you see that shit? Yes. 90,000 people. Literally. Just cram-packed.
Up each other's
nut
asses.
to butt. I went back and watched Limp Bizkit's entire set because I wanted to talk about this too. Did anybody see the major dad vibes that Fred Durst was giving? Anybody else see that? Oh my god! So I meant to have a picture, and I'm gonna have to find the picture and pull it up because
here we go.
Well, okay. So he's not rocking the hat anymore. And then at the end of that show, they announced that their album that they've been working on for the last 5 years, they're changing the name, and it's going to be called Dad Vibes, and that's the title track.
Heck yeah.
I know Seven saw it. I know Seven had to see it.
He looks like if Brett Favre, aged a little bit more. Somehow Fred Durst turned into Brett Favre. I'm serious. Look at the picture. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, I'm pulling it up. Give me just a second. I'm working on it. Oh, here we go.
That is an aged Brett Favre in a wig.
Yep.
That is an aged Brett Favre.
And you can't even see the whole outfit, but he was even wearing like New Balances. And I'm sorry, it was the greatest thing ever to see this man singing Ball with the, or not, wow, wrong guy.
Oh, wow.
Singing, man, Nookie,
Right.
to singing Nookie and all of that, and doing the same moves he's done for 20 years. Literally the same bops, in full dad get up. Like, it was amazing. If you haven't watched their set from Lala, it was probably one of the best sets of the entire show. I'm a huge. Why are you giving me that look now, Seth?
You know what you
know what? Huh?
No, I was just saying, no, it was a good set.
It was nostalgic, and they didn't sound bad. They sounded great, really. I love MC Lethal. I've been a fan of his for a while. But yeah, seeing Fred in the full-on dad outfit was amazing. And there was a picture going around of him in this outfit taking a picture with his 20-year-old son. It was great.
That's great. Fantastic.
So yeah, if you haven't checked out Fred Durst and Lip Bizkit's Lollapalooza, it's on YouTube. Go check that out. Pun, you got any more music or any more news?
I got one more small one here. Aerosmith will be celebrating their 50th anniversary next year, and they have some exciting news for us. They have signed up with Universal Music Group, UMG, who will manage from here on things like their catalog of music, new music projects, new films, TV, anything of an audiovisual nature, and projects that celebrate the band's amazing and extensive success in the music industry. We will also get a look into the archives of the band members themselves as UMG works as curators to bring us future releases that will include things like music we've never heard before, video footage, journals, photos, and more, which sounds like super exciting. Also, all info for these articles came from billboardmusic.com and rollingstone.com. Just throw that out there. But yeah, I'm excited for that Aerosmith, man. I want to hear some of that music.
All my stuff came from NPR Music. And
that's actually all I've got, but yeah.
Well, then it is time. We took a little longer than I was talking, but we're gonna dive right into it and talk about our topic of the night. And we took this from a fan last time who, when we were talking about highlighting a band, they mentioned them, and this is one of my favorite bands of all time. I grew up listening to these guys. I didn't realize how much I was into emo until I got older. But I was an emo kid.
Looking back,
like pop punk emo, my entire playlist. That entire playlist is my high school childhood.
Right.
Truly. But no, tonight we are talking about the one, the only MCR.
Carry on.
Yes, this is a vinyl of Black Parade.
That is so sick.
This was my birthday present because I am a vinyl addict. I mean, what can you say about this band? They have been around for 20 plus years at this point. Totally reinvented themselves with this album. Went from a straight up punk emo band, or punk, I would say a punk pop-ish type band, to an emo rock band. And Black Parade is one of the greatest songs of my teenage years. Like, anybody who wants to fight me, bring it on.
He's back.
Let's go. Let's go.
No. Here's the thing. I'm going to say this. There are some people that will not like this take. I don't care because I wholeheartedly believe it. Black Parade is our generation's Bohemian Rhapsody.
Dude, get out of my head. I was going to say that, and I was afraid that people would flip shit. But yes. And
if you want to fight me on it, there are videos of Brian May touring with My Chemical Romance. Watch the videos of MCR playing that song with Brian May, and also watch them play Bohemian Rhapsody. MCR, that song is our generation's Bohemian Rhapsody. There's no question.
Yes, I agree. It was so different for music at that time. It starts off very slow. The beginning is almost him just talking to you. And then it just goes into
it builds.
It builds like for like I think like a minute and a half. It builds and it builds and it builds, and then all of a sudden it just lets loose. And I'm literally getting chills just talking about it. Because that song to me, like, and it says things like it says, "Don't be a follower, be a leader. Take the less traveled road. Make sure you're always striving to be the best person you can be. Fuck what everybody else thinks." And I'm sorry, as a teenager who was bullied a lot, had no self-esteem whatsoever, that song spoke to me. Like, it literally hit me in the soul.
It was an anthem for our generation. It was the anthem, actually, if you want to really come right down to it.
Sorry, I wanted to pull up their Wikipedia so I'd have a little more information. So,
Beans.
Commonly abbreviated, actually, officially, MCR or My Chem. Like, even as also known as MCR, My Chem. I literally have not referred to them other than My Chem since I was probably in high school. 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge. That was the album I was trying to think of. Their debut album. This song had I'm Not Okay.
That's a good song.
Thank You for the Venom. Another good song. Helena. Thank you for.
I love Helena. Oh, that's my jam.
But, you know, the song from this album that was super popular when it came out that I did not like when it first came out that I love now, Ghost of You.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God.
So pretty.
It is.
So pretty. And now, as an adult who has lost friends and close ones, like, this song just has so much more meaning to me.
It does. It's one of those that has aged with us, I feel.
Yes.
Like, it's, yeah. What was that other one I heard that I really liked? I think it was the first song I ever heard by them, actually. It was Teenagers. Yeah, that one.
Teenagers scare the living
shit out of me.
Yes. That was on 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge, but it wasn't actually one of their ones that they released. Like, that was not a hugely popular song.
It wasn't.
It was so good.
It's so catchy.
So that was their 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge, 2003 to 2006. That was their first album. That led them to really their big fame. And then, that was their second album, their first after signing with Reprise Records, following a tour with Avenged Sevenfold. Another awesome.
Oh,
and this, he was bringing up Queen. We didn't mention My Kim collaborated with Used to cover Under Pressure. I had this song for when the tsunamis hit.
I don't think I've ever heard this.
Oh my God, you got to
check it out. Yeah, I will.
It's Used, My Kim covering David Bowie and Queen's Under Pressure. It's amazing.
Actually, I may have heard it before and I just don't remember hell, but either way, I'm going to listen to it again.
And then in 2006, they started recording their third studio album, which was Black Parade. In August of 2006, they started recording the video for that, even though it wasn't released until January of 2007. No wonder that. Did you know the director of that was Samuel Bear 7, the same guy who did Smells Like Teen Spirit and American Idiot? No wonder.
Good.
The video director?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
That makes a whole lot of sense.
Cool.
Speaking of Smells Like Teen Spirit, did you guys ever watch the show where Post Malone did an hour of Nirvana covers?
Yes. Yes.
How was it?
Dave Grohl himself recognized how good this was.
Yeah. He did it last year during the pandemic. He did it in his apartment, set up, and like every instrument was a Zoom, and him in his apartment by himself. And I swear it was better. It was better than some concerts I've been to in dive bars. Like he did people don't understand. Posty is he might look like a weirdo, but he's fantastic. So freaking talented.
He
can rap. He plays multiple instruments. He has a voice for rock music. He has a voice for pop music. I mean, the man has done stuff with Ozzy fucking Osbourne.
I used to make jokes about Post Malone because his face looks like an ISS detention desk. But the truth of the matter is he's a very talented musician. And he not only did that Nirvana set well, but in a true homage to Kurt Cobain, he didn't do Smells Like Teen Spirit.
No.
Kurt hated that song.
Yeah.
And
that was the song that the record company made him put in.
Yeah.
And that's the song that, like, everybody, like, when I hear Nirvana, that's the song that I hear. So I guess,
it was by far one of their most popular songs. It was.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But
Kurt did not want it on the album.
Overplayed. It got so overplayed. Kurt didn't like it, and that was on their last album, wasn't it?
Yes, it was the album right before. There are rumors, there are talks that the success of that song is one of the things that pushed him over the edge.
Oh.
Outside of Courtney Love?
I mean, we all know Courtney had a lot to do with it, but...
I will die on that hill. It was
So, current members for My Kim. Gerald Way, Road Toro, Mikey Way, Frank Lero. That's something that most people don't realize about My Kim. The lead singer and the bass guitarist are brothers.
Really? I didn't know that. Yes. I guess. Cool beans.
Is there anything else you could really say about this band? Like, they've been together and separated a few times. I've seen My Kim in concert. They put on one of the greatest shows I've ever seen. And most people would say that they are riding Black Parade to fame. But personally, if I wrote this generation's Bohemian Rhapsody, I'd ride that shit till the end of time.
Yeehaw!
Woo! Makes seven
I think,
out of his chair.
Oh my God. You killed him. He's dead. You killed him.
You can judge how funny your joke is by how red my face gets. Like, there's some heater.
They did announce in 2020 that they were going to start touring again, and then that got postponed because of the pandemic. Supposedly, they're going to... they were going to try and start touring again here in April, but then postponed it again to May of next year. I'm super excited for this. I had planned on trying to go whenever it comes to Texas, wherever it comes to Texas. I've seen them in concert once, but I want to see them now as an adult. I did want to talk, there's a list here about their influences. You got stuff like Queen, Iron Maiden, Black Flag, Bauhaus, 6OC, and the Banshees. Man, some of these guys I've only heard of. People are being like, who the fuck is he talking about? Other influences, the Stooges, Ramones, Sex Pistols, The Clash, Minor Threat, Nirvana, and Operation Ivy.
Solid.
We just talk about how weird it would be if Queen wasn't one of their influences.
Yeah, I mean, considering they remade one of their songs, and like you said, they have toured regularly with Brian May and Adam Lambert in the new Queen, which at one point we are going to talk about that on this show, because I'm sorry, but for a band like Queen to reinvent themselves and find someone as close to of course now my Freddie Mercury as Adam Lambert is, Like I watched. Did you watch the documentary on Netflix? 7? Did you watch this?
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. Like you took a band that could have easily called it quits and moved on, and they revitalized them and took Adam's career to places it probably would have never went without that relationship. And I love what they've done. I do. I would love to see them in concert.
One of the things that made Queen what they are is Freddie's vocal range. You are not going to find a lot of people that have a 5-octave range. Freddie Mercury, Axl Rose. You think Brian May wants to tour with Axl Rose?
No, God no.
I would much rather tour with Adam Lambert than Axl Rose. I mean, that's the thing. There are some that will criticize Lambert because he looks different. He comes off different. But the truth of the matter is, you're not going to find very many people that have the talent to be able to handle singing what Freddie did with Queen and what they do now.
Yes.
Exactly.
And some of the new stuff that they came up with Adam is amazing. It is just that same Queen vibe. And you said it, there's not many vocally, but if Freddie were alive and were able to pick his successor, I think he would have picked Adam Lambert. Because to me, Adam stands for what Freddie was trying to do all along, was to be happy and to live his life and to not worry about it. And Adam is able to do that now, unlike Freddie was.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm just going to throw something out because I just had this thought because of the fact that I know how talented he is or was. Because you have to think about it. Adam Lambert started touring with Queen. What was it? 2004?
Yes.
2005? Mm-hmm. Okay. Who wasn't in a band that has supreme vocal talent at that point? Chester Bennington.
Wow.
I'm just saying. I know I'm crazy. Yes, I took my pills today, but I'm just saying.
Well, the only thing I would have said with Chester to Adam fits the vibe of Freddie. And
absolutely.
Chester is so reserved and now we know all the shit he was constantly going through. It would have changed the direction of Queen a little bit to put Chester in that role. But I can't argue with you on that because the vocal...
when it comes to vocals, he would have been it. But there goes my thing, sorry. But he would have been it. But yes, I've always loved Adam Lambert, though, since the first time I saw him. But yeah, I'm glad that he does with... I'm glad that he does with Queen because, like you said, yes, I can totally see him. It's the Freddie of this generation, basically, is Adam.
Absolutely.
I love watching them perform Bohemian. Like, I swear there are times when he's singing that song that Freddie takes over Adam's body. Like, the spirit of Freddie just overwhelms him.
That's cool.
There was, to Adam's compliment, and this is a true story. I learned this when I used to tour. There was a group that tried to go after Queen after Adam Lambert had taken over because there were times, like you said, that it's like Freddie took over and Adam, and it sounds almost exactly the same. And there was somebody that claimed that they were using Adam Lambert and him lip syncing.
Yeah, I remember this.
And mixing Freddie's vocals into the mic to try and keep people happier and that it wasn't really Adam Lambert doing it. They had to prove that it was him.
Adam came out and did an acapella at a concert. I remember this.
Yeah, I was like, what? Are you serious?
What would be the point of faking it? Like,
I mean, because you do have a guy like Adam Lambert being the face, and if you want to still keep that vibe and Adam can't do it, that would make sense. But
Adam can do it.
We all know from American Idol and everything that man has done, he's super talented, and he does have that vocal range. And he says it. If you haven't watched the documentary on Netflix about him joining Queen, he talks about how much he's grown as an artist and being able to expand himself and learn from being in this group. because he still gets to do his solo albums. He still gets to do everything he wants to do. And I'm sorry, but if I'm Adam Lambert and grew up on Queen like I did, and now I'm in Freddie's role,
how do you? How do you?
But
dream role of a lifetime.
We will end up talking about that more on the show at some point. But that's all I really have on MCR. If you don't know who My Chem is, fuck you.
Where were you? Where have you been? Under a fucking rock? Hello.
Soundtrack to my childhood. One of them right there. We need to take our last commercial break, and then we're going to come back with Sound Explosion.
Boom.
No one pulls up like we do. No one does us like we do. Always go hard with this crew. Welcome to the show, let's make moves. Nothing's gonna stop us, it's not to get rough. Turn the whole room up, it's never enough. Let's go, 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 let's go.
Make this quick before Pun literally melts away on me.
No, I'm okay. I'm good. I promise. And I'm good. Things are starting to grow on me, but I'm good.
Passes out.
Yeah, sorry. You see this big swamp thing like just start to swallow me because things are growing on me at this point. Like oh God.
But it is time. Real quick, it's time for one of my favorite segments of this show. It is time for Sound Explosion. All right, so every week I'm kind of going to change it up on what we decide to talk about. Last week, I think it was what was right now on our Spotify. I had an epiphany the other day while I was doing this. While I was singing in the shower, I thought about, we should talk about what you're listening to and singing in the shower.
Because we all do it.
If you don't do it, you lie. You lie. Even people who never sing, i.e. my cousin, I've heard him singing.
Sing in the shower.
Everybody sings in the shower.
Or hums or something.
Plus, the best acoustics are in the shower.
They really are.
So mine for this week, I showed this to Pun right before the show. And like, this is an earworm, guys. I have to preface that. Like, you're going to go listen to it, and it's going to get stuck in your head, and you're going to be listening to it.
For real.
On my lunch break today, I listened to it 5 times in an hour. So, it is Love You For Now by Bailey Robbins and Ferris. It is... Bailey Robbins' voice is kind of like... Who did you say earlier? Pun?
Oh shit! I just had a complete brain fart. Who did I say he sounded like? Like a poppy Luke Combs.
Oh, that's it. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's got an almost kind of hip hoppy-ish guitar beat. But the things that he's got very gravelly voice, and I love a good gravelly voice. Love a good gravelly voice. But then he can do certain things with his voice that most gravelly people can't. So, yes, I Love You For Now. by Bailey Robbins. I mean, can't argue with that. I love good music camping.
Yeah, just go out in the forest and belt out to the trees.
So Bailey Robbins, I Love You For Now. Go check that out. That is my sound explosion. That is what I'm listening to in the shower right now.
Slumber Party by Ashnikko has been my my latest jam in the shower. And
you got the look. It wasn't me this time. You got the look.
Don't judge me. It's one of many songs. It's a good thing I'm wearing makeup because my face is about to turn as red as my headset.
Did you have pillow fight at that slumber party there, Kay? Or I'm sorry. Your name starts with K. It's so distracting.
I do it all the time.
I'm used to it. I just answer to my sister's name, and I'm yeah. And no, I did not attend the slumber party. I just sang about it.
You just sang about it.
I did. She was sweating so much, I forgot to plug commercials. So those commercials there were for our Monday lineup: Sports Report, 7, Will, Tony C, Dirty Dan, the Dick. I literally got a dick chant going last night.
If you knew what he was like as a person, you'd want to chant dick too. Like
yes. It's not wrong. I'm not being wrong. And then that next show, another part of our Monday lineup is with 7 and Dirty Dan, Sports Report After Dark, where they dive into the human side of sports. Last night, I think they covered cheating in baseball. I didn't even watch the episode because I knew it was I was gonna want to jump in here and pop on, and I wasn't gonna do that. So I need to go watch it tonight when I can't do that.
Just think about the why. That's one of the things we talked about was the why. Like some interesting stuff that I've learned about that. So it's good. It's a good thing to watch if you're interested. Just sit there, smoke a bowl. It's good combo.
And then Double XP, that is K Pun every Wednesday with talking all things video games. Oh, and Tyler's computer is now alive.
Tyler's here.
Not Pun. 7, did you watch last Wednesday's episode? Tyler was getting hit on the entire show. It was great. So funny. So funny.
Wait, is it like Tyler's Kay's boyfriend, right?
Yeah, yes. They live basically fiance. They live together.
Like, don't they live together? Okay.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. I know. Like they were literally in separate rooms, separated by a door.
Okay. All right. Just making sure I was paying attention.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, that was really, really funny. I produced that show, or was I watching it, or I don't remember. No, I was gone. I watched that show. Oh, we were driving back. We'll put it on while we were driving back. And we watched the entire show. And I normally don't watch Double XP. I'm going to be honest. That's AEW Dynamite night. That's what I'm watching on Wednesdays. I am a wrestling geek. These two know it. They know it.
I know. Priorities. It's all good.
So I'm watching Dynamite, but we were driving home from Louisiana and Will put it on. And it was an amazing show. They did so good. It was funny. Lots of information. So make sure you check out Double XP with these two lovely ladies and Tyler, who obviously people think are lovely too. And all things video games. And then this that's about to happen right here happens there. It's time for the pun of the week.
Yes. Okay.
Is there there's nothing for that. Okay.
No. That's another one I've got to work on.
All right. What do you call a microorganism that listens to classical music? Bacteria.
Yes!
There's the face!
That's good. That's good.
Oh,
that's good.
I do have to go back, Abel, Devin. I have to pull up these comments.
You don't touch me when I go over.
Trees don't. That's true.
And then,
yes.
I mean,
yes.
Probably.
It was. Yes. No, it was. It was. I think it was Jeremy and Cody. I think.
So, I think that does it for this week of Drop the Mic podcast. We did run a little bit long, but God, we get to talking about music, and I just lose myself. I lose myself.
Yes.
We will be back in.
As Eminem says, yeah.
Hey, don't make me go back to the bleach blonde. Don't make me go back to the bleach blonde. I'll pop up here, straight up Eminem out. I did that in high school.
Here's what you need to do. If you're gonna do the straight blonde, just go on to Wish. You know they have to exist on Wish. Earrings that have ramen, like the sauce packets for ramen noodles. And then you can get like 1 beef and 1 chicken, or one like 2 pork if you're classy.
See, that would work for you because you get a fro.
Yeah,
my
okay,
hair,
that's true.
my hair is literally like I don't do anything to this. It is just straight, straight as a board.
Dude, have you gotten like the actual like in the like the Asian food area, that ramen, not the cheap stuff that Americans are force fed, but like the good stuff, bro, game changer.
Truly,
I've never, but I wish to try.
Truly, everybody shit talks it, but real ramen, real traditional ramen. If you can go to a ramen restaurant, like I love some pho. Love me some pho. Like cold day and I'm not feeling well. Most people want soup. I want some fucking pho. And to me, there's nothing better with pho than true traditional ramen noodles. Oh,
absolutely. It's on my to try list.
And here's the thing: it's worth it to go to a traditional place, spend a little extra money at a place that's nicer rated for your first experience. Make an experience out of it, like going to a proper sushi or hibachi grill place for the first time. Mm-hmm. Like spend a little extra money and make it worth your time. Because first off, it's going to ruin the cheap stuff for you, so you might as well at least get your money's worth. But it's better, and those places you're going to get experience, you're going to be able to experience, and then the stuff that you can do at home. It just takes time, and you just want to get proper motivation to do it.
So we went to
this winter. I'm going to attempt for the first time. I am a chef, have been by trade, but Asian is not something I've always cooked. I'm learning. I made fried rice for the first time past weekend. It's actually
that was
not too bad. It was not bad.
Cool.
Even though I tear myself up and I say it wasn't that good, but. It wasn't bad, but on my list, once it gets cold again, if it gets cold again, is pho. I'm going to try and make some homemade pho.
Cool.
If you take some of that infused oil when you're making fried rice, cook it on that, you can have a great dinner and wake up about breakfast the next day. I'm just saying.
Dude, I have so many jars of that stuff that I can't use because when I cook for the family. So, 3-year-old, but God, like, I was making that fried rice.
She needs some sleep. Don't judge.
I was making some of that fried rice the other day. I was making that fried rice the other day, and I was like, "Oh man, just a little teaspoon of that coconut oil would be so good."
Just make theirs and make yours last. That's what I do. Like if I'm gonna make mine, because like I'll get tamales at the bar, and I keep oil, and that's what I'll do is I'll make their food, and then I pour the in and I do mine.
There you go.
I did that a while back. One of the things I've always wanted to do was make weed fried chicken because you can infuse canola oil.
Oh, it's so good.
So I did that a while back. It was so good.
Damn.
So good.
That sounds awesome.
Here's the thing. If they were to fix the cannabis industry so it's completely legal across the board, could you imagine going into a soul food restaurant and getting infused fried chicken, and then you get stuff like biscuits and mashed potatoes and fried okra and all that other stuff? Like you would be in heaven. Oh my God.
Y'all are killing me, I swear. I was about to say, I'm elevating. My stomach's not on my backbone right now. Like, oh my
God. No, I've thought about that. So we're doing a Friendsgiving this year, and everybody has to bring one infused dish. I'm gonna get so baked and pass the fuck out.
That sounds magical.
All right, guys. So we're getting out on rants, so I think we're going to get out of here. Thank y'all for joining us. As we said, keep an eye out for everything pinfall tomorrow. K, Pun, Double XP, Thursday, 7, Will, First Gen Dads. Saturday, Will, Shaw, Double X,
You got this.
Gauntlet. Sunday, 7, or Will and me. See, there's too many of y'all. There's too many people.
Sorry.
Will and me. Will, me, and Tony C. Pinfall Podcast. Sure, we'll be talking about Punk making his debut on Dynamite this Wednesday and all that other stuff. So make sure you check that out. And then repeating and starting it all over Mondays after dark and Sports Report. Make sure you check that out. I did forget to plug Real Reality Fantasy Football. Make sure you go like, share, subscribe on their YouTube. We are giving away a trophy for fantasy football players from TrophySnack.com. If you go subscribe to their YouTube, you get entered. If you comment, you get a bonus entry. If you then go subscribe to our YouTube, you get another bonus entry. So go, if you're a fantasy football fan, go do that. Go subscribe. I just found out today that it sounds like the first 3 rounds of the draft will be dropping on Friday. I'm super excited for people to see this. I'm telling you guys, I plastered the fuck out of pinfall on this thing. Like everything I could. It's everywhere. I even told the guys today, they're like, dude, you realize your team's like the worst. I was like, guys, I told y'all when we were there, I don't give a fuck. I'm literally here for the publicity, which I'm already getting. So I've won.
Woohoo!
And if by some freaking chance I win the $5,000, it's going right back into this. So
There you go.
All right, guys, y'all have a great week. We'll see y'all in 2 weeks. Make sure you catch us same time for another real podcast next Tuesday. Me and Kay. I think we're actually going to talk about 1994 movies, what we were supposed to talk about a couple of weeks ago. So I'm super excited for that. All right, guys, y'all have a great night.
Night, guys.